Welcome, everyone, to Talented Universe on this 30th day of October. Hope everybody's ready for tomorrow's Halloween craziness. I'm not, but that's a whole other story. But before I have Marcia introduce our fabulous guest for today, Liz, how are you doing today?
Wonderful, and actually looking forward to the little kitties coming up because all my grown-up kids get to deal with them out in the lawn and scare them to death.
Oh, so you don't have to deal with it, or you just
Nope.
give the candy out so then they feel
I'm going to
better
sit there with
after
the
being
clicker.
scared?
I sit there with the clicker
Oh,
and count
okay.
who comes in.
Oh, count them. Yeah, I used to
Yep.
do that. Then I gave up with that. I started counting candy and adding up. That was easier. But Marcia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I had forgotten it was day before Halloween. I have to admit I'm not much of a Halloween person, but but I love to talk about where people are from because we're from all over. I'm in Northeast Florida. Liz is in California. Michael, you're in Maryland, and I'm happy to introduce our guest today, who's Luca Pietro, and you are in.
I am in West Hollywood, Los Angeles.
Right. But originally you are from the Florida area, right?
Yes. Yeah, I was born and raised in South Florida, West Palm Beach.
Hmm. And
Um,
when we when we talk about where people are from, it's this whole internet is really still a kick for me because we're getting together from like four places in the globe, and it's really a lot of fun. But
mm,
so we're here mostly for verticals, but we like to go back a little bit and start kind of in your beginning stages of your quest toward acting, and you started very young, at maybe
I
about
did.
7 years old, or so
Yes.
tell us
Yeah.
about that.
So initially how it began was my brother. He went to Bak Middle School of the Arts. He tried out. He's 5 years older than me, and he got in for theater. And my parents, being the parents that they were like, well, let's put our youngest in it as well. So I was playing baseball all my life. That's all I ever cared about. I mean, I still care about to this day. But I tried out for Bach, got in, did musical theater and theater. I sang as well. I'm not too great now since my voice dropped. But yeah, I did that for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. My coach was Robert Valentine and Bob Carter. They're both from West Palm. I stopped. I stopped for like 4 or 5 years to play baseball. I wanted to play baseball. It was my first passion, and
Mm.
yeah, I got hurt. I eventually got hurt. I hurt my shoulder just to make things shorter, and I got back into it like a year after that happened. And then I did my first feature film with an independent director. He was a one-man team, Jacob Grehl, and that sparked my passion again, and I wanted to keep doing it after experiencing my first film.
Okay, it's that time of year. It's the baseball time of year. So Liz and I particularly are huge baseball fans.
Are
Um,
you?
Yes.
Oh,
Huge. That's
originally,
all we ever talk about when someone likes baseball.
I'm originally from New York City. I'm from
oh, I'm so
Queens.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm a
So
Phillies fan.
can you guess which team I'm a fan of?
You said
Yeah,
Queens? Oh man, let me think about this geographically. Are you a Mets fan?
you got
Okay.
it. And I thought that's why you were giving me your sympathy or empathy because
Yeah,
the
that
Mets had a
was
tough end to the season. So, and Liz is a
I'm a Dodger fan and an entire house full of Giants fans.
boo. Come on, boo.
so
Uh,
Luca, are you a fan of a particular team or
yeah, I'm a
Phillies.
fan of the Phillies,
oh gosh.
and there's a reason for it. It's because where I grew up, like Jupiter, West Palm area, all of the
Mhm.
teams spring trained over there. So I
Oh,
would see Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber,
oh my
Aaron Nola,
goodness.
all those guys, and it was like, I mean, I was like a little kid seeing them. I was like, oh my god, my superheroes. So
Wow.
I just
Spring
always love
training
it.
is fun. Yeah,
Oh, love it. Yeah.
yeah. And you played baseball. So what was your favorite position?
Um, I'm actually so glad we're talking about this. I never get to talk about this with anyone. I played shortstop to begin, and then they moved me to outfield once they noticed I had an arm on me, and then they moved me to pitcher, and that was my demise. That's how I got hurt. They were just
Oh.
Yeah.
every day, every day, every day, every day,
Using
every
the
day.
arm every day. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
and like I can't judge them. I can't hate my coaches for that. Like their intentions were clear. They wanted my arm to strengthen, but in the end, I think it really tore it up. I had to go to PT for 6 months,
Wow.
redo my shoulder. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I still love it. It was the biggest heartbreak I ever had stopping baseball.
Mhm. So
So
watching, I'm gonna stop baseball in a second, but I have
mhm.
to talk
I don't believe it, Marcia. I don't believe it.
about okay, Otani. I got to know how you feel about Otani as a as a pitcher, or he does everything. I'm like, wow.
Undisputed GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. I think he's going to be the greatest of all time for a while. Even though I hate him, I love him. I love him. He's so good, and he's a good character. Heard he's a good guy, but yeah. I admire him a lot in
Yeah.
his art.
I gotta say, I agree. As a Mets fan, I probably dislike him more if I was a Yankees fan. But
Right,
he's a good guy. He seems like a good guy, good person. He's got a dog. He seems
right.
cool.
Decoyed.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I really appreciate that. Even though you got hurt playing a game that you love, that you still can appreciate it and love it and watch it and
Mhm.
yeah. I think that's strong. I think that is. And to talk a little more about your performance, you have musical theater background,
Yes.
and I'm interested in a couple of the roles you might remember that you were able to play when you were.
Yeah, yeah. So a couple of them were Bach originals. It was what the teachers would write on their own. But the one I do remember and the one I do a video of is Sound of Music. You are 16. It's pretty
Mhm.
typical cliche. But yeah, I
Hmm.
killed it. I killed it. I miss it too.
Hmm. Do you think you might tickle that a little bit more in the future?
Who knows? If the opportunity arises, I'm willing to do a lot of things to get out of my comfort zone.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't be too opposed to it, but I would definitely need some practice.
Hmm. Well, and before I throw it to Liz, again in the kind of Wayback Machine, one of the earlier roles I saw you in was in a kind of a documentary series called "Something Bit Me."
We
You saw that? Oh my
both did.
goodness.
Well, and it's particularly it was particularly interesting because I think everybody in Florida has a "something bit me" story. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yep. A lot of gator accidents down there, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that was the role that you were in. You were in a gator story, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was about a kid. It was a true story.
Yeah, it was really
He went
tragic. Yeah.
Yeah, he went swimming with his friends. His arm got torn off by a gator. He grabbed
Mhm.
some banana spider web, I think it was,
Yes.
and pretty much made a gauze.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Put it over his arm. Can you imagine?
Hmm.
But
So when you saw that, when you did you look at the whole story of what that young man's story was while you were in that role?
I did. Yeah, I did. I did. That was over like 2.5 years ago, maybe
Hmm.
3 years now. It was like my first ever thing that I did with a company. But yeah, yeah. If I remember correctly, I think it was North Florida where it happened.
Yeah, it was Morris. Was it Morristown? Moorhaven, Florida. Yeah.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah. He's okay today, though. I mean, everything's good.
Yeah.
I know he's fine now, but yeah, that was a tragic story
Mm-hmm.
when I
Well,
remember reading about it.
I'll tell you my something bit me story. I'm from New York City. I came down here to Florida, and we hadn't gotten our phone installed yet, so I had to use what was most people don't know, young people your age. There were telephone booths back then. So I went down.
What? Uh-huh. What a
Yeah, so
relic.
I had to go outside and use a telephone booth. So I'm standing outside. I'm calling my mom, and I'm telling her we got here okay and everything. I'm standing, and all of a sudden, my legs are on fire. Like something is like biting my ankles. And I looked down, and there were fire ants. I'd never
Mm.
even heard of fire.
Oh, the fire ants. Oh.
Nasty.
That was my introduction to something bit me. Now, do you have a something bit me story?
Oh, man of war, jellyfish, a barracuda one time going snorkeling. Oh my God, what else could I name? I have like, and these didn't bite me, but I have like 30 iguana in my backyard.
Ooh.
If you're from Florida,
Wow.
South Florida, you know iguana are like the next birds. Like they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Man, everywhere.
They're like pigeons.
Yeah. But man of war, that's got to be the suckiest.
Wow.
If
You got
step
bit
on
by
a
a man of war. Wow.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you just step on it, and they sting you, and then the only release from that pain is someone peeing on you,
I know.
literally.
That's
Quite
just wonderful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I'm going to switch to Liz.
You would. Actually, one quick thing. You said that you really liked doing the Sound of Music when you did it. Just to give you a brief background with myself, my godfather was the assistant director of Gone with, also Gone with the Wind, but
What?
Sound of Music as well, and Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. But so
Wow.
yeah. But
Big
getting
time
into yeah. When you were fairly young, you did a lot of big corporation commercials, like stuff with Walmart and Hasbro.
Yep.
How did you get into that? And was your thought of just as a kid doing it? God, I'd rather be out playing, baseball with my friends and not be stuck here doing this modeling stuff.
You're asking me like what my thought process was?
Yeah, what was your thought process of it? Would you rather?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that. Like I didn't care whatsoever for any commercial work. It felt like a job for me. My parents, God bless their heart, they were doing it for my future. They were setting up my college fund, my savings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm so glad that they did, though, because I became familiar with everything involving camera work and just being on set and how a set runs and how to act around other people while they're working. I had the opportunity to professionalize myself early on. Even though I wanted to play baseball, I was always pretty competent, knowing where I was and what my parents put me in. So I didn't want to do it, but I knew it was going to be beneficial for the future, even though I had no idea really what was going on.
Yeah, but you kind of had that sense of, well, this is going to be good for me in the future somehow.
Yes, it would become an asset one day.
Yeah. And speaking of that, exactly how did you get into verticals, or what told you about verticals?
My manager, God bless him, God bless his heart, Alan Osborne. Yeah. So before I met Alan, I was pretty much doing nothing. Like I would do a couple modeling jobs here and there, to support myself. I would get maybe 1 or 2 mainstream auditions every month and a half, I would say. So it was pretty dead. Like I was like, dang, man, like I really got to focus on school because this acting thing is not going my way. I was in school at the time. And yeah, basically I met Alan through my modeling agent, Christian Alexander in Miami, through Front. I told him I wanted to act and there were no opportunities in Miami because it's all swimwear and modeling and not really any film. So he set me up with Alan. I sent in a Breakfast Club monologue to Alan for my audition. He accepted me, and the first week he started sending me these verticals. And unlike many others that were skeptical of it, I was like pedal to the metal. Like, I want to do this. If I'm going to get these opportunities now, like, I'm going to take it and I'm going to win with all I can. So yeah, it was Alan. It was Alan. He would send me 5 to 6 auditions per week, which have doubled now. But yeah, I give all my credit to him.
I definitely think a lot of people out there that are watching, especially watching the ones that you've done, I've been very thankful for him doing that, because you, I think, are one of the true good talents that are coming in through the verticals and how we're seeing the progression of things. And speaking of that, you did a vertical that ties in kind of with what Marcia just said about the payphones. You did a movie or vertical called Coming of Age, which was almost a rom-com throwback to like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes.
You know, how did you feel putting yourself back to that time frame that basically was before you were born or had too much memory of it, to see all these different styles, the different tropes for the different movies that were done, just, some of the stuff.
I mean, even though I was an 03 baby, I felt like a sense of nostalgia for that setting. Just like the iPod or like the recorder, to listen to music in, just the clothing, the music, the hair. I have an older brother. He's 26 or about to be 27. And he used to dress like that. He didn't act like that, but he used to listen to the same type of music. And I felt like I could be in my brother's shoes for once. And out of all the characters that I've played in a vertical, I would say playing Nathan in Coming of Age was like, that's where I felt my most comfortable. For some reason, I would say I didn't have to try to stray from myself so much to try to play this character. Oh, crap, Semi. No,
it was me, unfortunately.
Oh, it was you? Like,
but yeah, it was it felt the most familiar, I would say, playing Nathan. I felt the most comfortable. My director, Maria, we would talk about the character a lot. I wanted to play it more eccentric at times, and she said, like, no, trust me, the laid back. And I was like, really? Because that's just like me. Like, are you sure? Like, you just want me to, like, bring myself into this, an aspect of myself? So trust me. And it turned out really well, which I actually didn't think was going to be the product of that. I
really think it did, because it was completely refreshing from a lot of different ones that you see. And I won't get into the whole political aspect of what, other people want versus what maybe the productions want regarding, violence or things like that. But it was really refreshing to see something like this. But did you do any research to watch what the style of the rom-coms were during that genre, during that generation?
I've seen 10 Things I Hate About You probably 4 times now.
That's a good one.
Oh man, what was the other one? Dang, it was another one of those 51st Dates, I think.
That was great. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Where she has to refresh her memory. Yeah.
Yep. So I got the gist. I understood the theme they were going for, and I always wanted to do something like that. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm very lucky to have been cast in that.
Yeah. The other you have done several that I've really, really liked. The other one that I really think you did a remarkable job with, and it's going to tie into another question I have. You did My Fated Mate is My Enemy Stepbrother. I think I got it all right. The titles on these things are so weird. Yeah. But
yeah, that was Amber.
Yeah. You've done that. You've done like playing, the CEO billionaire that's a little bit older than you, and now you've done one that's basically your age, teenage age. What genre do you prefer to do? Do you prefer to do like werewolf fantasy, rom-com stuff, billionaire executive?
Gonna have to go with rom-com. I love comedy, and I feel like like a seductive character is what I feel most comfortable playing, because I feel like I understand the outline of what these characters bring. I mean, I can play CEO billionaire. I've done it a few times, but I mean, it's pretty repetitive, I would say. It's a little boring to me at times. some of the finance dialogue, and it's not really my forte. So I would definitely say like the young rom-com, maybe throw a bully in there one of these days. I've always enjoyed playing like the hard ass bullies. So yeah, definitely that.
I know that you are very sports inclined, mainly because baseball, but I have to know, did you really know how to skate with hockey when you did? And I can't think of it. And it's one of my favorite movies. I've seen it probably like 5 times. The
Virgin.
yeah, that one, the Virgin Stripper, yeah, and the hockey player.
I don't know how to skate. I don't know. I completely lied on the resume. I mean, look, my dad is full blood German, and he played hockey. He played ice hockey for like 20 years of his life. So him and my brother, they're proficient at skating. And I've skated probably 6 times in my life before we shot that. And funny enough, I trained for 3 weeks before doing that because I did not embarrass myself. So I was actually decent. I was decent, but my co-stars like Joss Gierkes and Carson Polish.
Yeah.
They were all telling me, they were trying to make me feel better before we hopped on the ice. Like, nah, dude, like I don't know how to skate, like don't worry about it. Meanwhile, Joss is from New York. And I'm like, okay, it's a little weird. I don't know why you don't know how to skate. So we end up hopping on the ice. He's skating backwards. He's stopping. There's ice flying in the air, falling on my ass. Like it's, it was pretty embarrassing, but after a couple tries, I got the hang of it. I was able to shoot out the scenes.
Yeah, you pulled it off very convincingly. I wasn't sure if you had a lot of skill in it or minimal skill, but you definitely you pulled off the scenes that you needed to do.
It's my job.
Coming into playing in a vertical, we know that it's shot, of course, vertically, but because the space is so narrow, and you've come from early on with theater, and then you've done movies where everything is quote unquote horizontal, the marks are different and everything. So did you have a learning curve to get to do this?
Yes. So in the first couple that I did, you really don't know what to expect, coming from horizontal mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, with the marks, it's you step 1 foot out and you're complete. No one sees what you're saying. No one sees what you're doing.
Exactly.
And at this point, I would in the middle of doing my verticals, you really start to understand the layout of everything. You start to premeditate where you're going to be, where your face is going to be, where your co-star has to be. If your co-star moves 1 step out, then you might want to give her like a little tap to you're covering me right now. There's a lot of things you got to think about, but you get used to it. And it becomes just second nature. Like you could do it with your eyes closed after doing so many,
Yeah, that definitely makes.
But I feel like anyone could learn pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things, I think, maybe be the layout, but also you have to consume so many lines in such a short amount of time, where if you're shooting something, a feature film or even a television program, you have a longer amount of time to do these lines, whereas you're shooting this in 5 to 10 days depending on the length of the vertical, and it's just consuming so much. Did you have a harder time trying to do that versus just regularly learning your lines?
So everyone that doesn't act always asks me this, like especially my parents and my family, like how do I learn my lines so quickly, these long monologues? I would honestly say it's the easiest part now. The lines are the easiest part. After training your brain, conditioning your brain enough, after doing a few, it just becomes, like I said, second nature. I would say the most difficult part is the intimacy. The intimacy, when I see intimacy on the call sheet, like I'm like, oh man, this is going to be tedious, especially if you're doing like a BDSM one. There's a lot of beats that you have to hit, especially
Yeah.
if you want to be safe with everything, respecting each other's boundaries, getting what the client wants while memorizing those lines, saying things while
Exactly.
doing something to someone. That can be difficult. So once you learn about the other steps of verticals, like the intimacy, you kind of don't even think about the lines. You use the lines to form your own dialogue, and as long as you get the point across, everyone's happy. So if it sounds good for you, it sounds good for us. And yeah, not everything is verbatim. You guys got to remember that. Not everything is verbatim. We'll take a lot of the lines, form it to make sense, and just throw it out there and make it sound good.
Yeah.
So
I know.
And
exactly.
What the arc is in the story, a lot of it's formulaic. It can be repetitive, redundant, and you just got to keep that in mind most of the time.
Yeah, I come from kind of a stage background myself. A lot of theater and stuff when I was in college, so I kind of get it. So yeah, Marcia, I'm going to toss it back to you because I know you have a ton more questions.
Unless Michael, do you want?
No, I was just going to do my, one main question, but go ahead, Marcia, and then I'll do mine after yours.
Oh, okay. I wanted to talk about one of your projects where I think you were a producer on this also, Reese Enterprises.
Yes. That was the one-man
you're
band.
going to steal my question, Marcia.
Was a movie, and it was something else. With what was the tagline? Never do business with your friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
yes. So that
true.
was what I was saying. Jacob Grehl. He was 18 at the time when he made this. He had a great idea. He wanted to make pretty much a spinoff of Social Network and Wolf of Wall Street. And I mean, every guy my age knows those movies, loves those movies. And I was like, ooh, when I applied for this, I think it was like $2,500 for 2 months of filming. Like I wasn't really making anything on it to provide for myself, but I really wanted to do it because of the character. And Jacob, he funded it all himself. He produced it, directed it, edited it, did the sound for it, everything. He gave me a producer credit because I put my 2 cents into it, and revised a lot of the ideas. But that was also with Michael Girgenti. We still keep in touch to this day. Very great guys, very great down to earth guys. We talk about God a lot. That's how we keep in touch. Just trying to stay grounded. But yeah, I made very good relationships on that, and that was my first ever film. And I had no idea it would turn into this. So I'm so glad I did that. It wasn't the best piece of work, I got to say. And Jacob knows that too. But with what we were working with, I would say it was damn par. It was, we did the job. We did the job. And we got it on Amazon Prime through showrunners and Jacob's hard work. So, yeah.
And the whole idea, what was it? The tourniquet?
An automatic tourniquet. And you know what's funny about that? Jacob actually, I think he patented it.
Oh, wow.
It's like it was an actual idea that he thought of. And we were all like, shit, like, you should actually look into this. If you just thought of this on the spot, that's actually genius. So, yeah,
and there's a scene I think was in your reel where you have a cigar. And long. I wouldn't call it a rant, but you were just reading the riot act of how to be a god was at the end of it,
Yeah. I don't remember the exact words. But
yeah.
But it was very Wolf of Wall Street-esque.
Yes, very Wall Street.
I'm an inner Leo for that. Jordan Belfort.
Are you a Leo?
I'm a Scorpio. No, I meant like DiCaprio. I meant DiCaprio.
Oh, DiCaprio. Okay.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Gotcha.
I'm a Scorpio, though.
Yeah, and to understand that he was only 18, you said?
Yes. Well, technically he was turning 19. I was 18. We were both very young.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is amazing.
Mhm.
And coming toward one of your more recent experiences, I understand that you were that might have been your first experience with fans was at Verticon.
Yes.
Here goes my question. Okay.
Me? Yeah.
Well, you want to take it, Mike?
No, you're the expert anyway, so go ahead.
Well, he said Michael's saying that because I produce fan panels and things at Comic Cons and things like that. So
Okay.
I do have an affinity for that. Was that your first experience in
Yes.
with fan?
Yes. Yes, it was. It was shocking, honestly. I did not know I could make an impact on people like that. You know, it's you really like you stay in your head a lot and you don't think the work that you're doing can be meaningful towards someone. And being at Verticon, hearing people's stories, as sad as they were, it was fascinating that you could have a reach that far, you know? And I mean, I really did feel for these people because from their point of view, they were talking to me like I didn't know, I wasn't familiar with these problems, even though I fight with these problems on my own, you know, with mental health. And to make them feel like they're not alone, or they're in this, we're all in this together, and that I provide them some form of enjoyment or joy in life, that is the best gift anyone could ever ask for. It was just my birthday. That it made my entire day hearing everyone's wishes towards me and how I've made their days better. That's the most important part of doing the acting. And I didn't realize that until I hit Verticon. I didn't think I could provide that for people. So it was definitely nice to relish in that moment.
What were some of the projects or roles that they wanted to speak to you about and thank you for? Were there particular roles?
Yes. It was the one I did with Ashley Below, which was, oh my God, I hope I don't butcher this name. I fell in love with my best friend's son or something. I think it's called. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Hopefully you do. Okay. And then the other one, Coming of Age were the two that they would bring up. And those were I think are my two popular. So I like talking about coming.
And then a fun thing with meeting your fans is autographs. So had you practiced your autograph before you went to?
Yeah, like kind of. I mean, no, not like the day before, but you know, sometime in the past I have, just in case. You know, I try to just bring it on the spot, make it look not so clean, not so dirty, just authentic. Don't got it.
So after this experience, do you think that you might develop your autograph a little bit more? Are you satisfied with it, or
Were people mad at my autograph? Was there like a meme about my signature or something? Was it that bad? I'm not gonna lie, like it's a scribble sometimes. It's probably what the complaints were. I you know what? After getting a couple comments on my autograph, I think I will be revising. I think I will. Period. I think I will be revising.
See, that came from I had no foreknowledge of anything stemming from your autograph. I'm just
about my autograph.
I'm curious because I think you were there on Saturday only, or were you there for more than?
It was only Saturday.
It was Saturday. And what do you think about doing something like that in the future?
Absolutely love to. I would love to.
You sure?
I'm not gonna lie. I get nervous going to social events like that and just speaking in interviews and podcasts. But like I said, I want to get out of my comfort zone and to make people happy and to be able to see their faces and them see mine. Like that's a very special thing. And you know, I love to connect with people.
Yeah,
So.
and you were on a panel with some others. Was that with Eric? With Eric?
Yes, that was with Shane Davis and Ryan Ravenson.
I thought it was Ryan. Yeah,
great guys. Shane, he actually shared a very sentimental story on stage. I don't know if you guys caught it. It was very nice of him.
It's always meeting fans and being able to be a conduit for allowing actors such as yourself to interact with fans is something that is fun to do. And I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it, because who knows, there might be some in your future, some more in your future.
Hopefully, definitely.
So, Michael, did you want to take it, or did
I need to take it because this has to do with Verticon.
Yep, it certainly does.
We have a statement from someone you may remember at Verticon.
Okay.
Maureen Holiday, from your favorite bodyguard from Verticon.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Yeah. What's up, Maureen? How you doing?
There we go. Nikki.
Nikki. Yeah, Nikki.
Yeah. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that. Now, going further with Marsha, because she kind of did take my question. I said, good, they haven't talked about Verticon yet, but they did. So you'd like to do it. You're interested in maybe trying another convention. Is there something? Had you ever been to a convention before going to Verticon? I mean, just even going as a fan. So you'd never gone to a convention before.
Never.
That was your first one.
Ever. Yep.
So you really didn't know what to expect. Was it what you kind of dreamed of or thought of beforehand, or you just went there and said, "Wow, this is crazy"?
I just went there. And said, "Wow, this is crazy." I never expected to do any of that. I mean, I don't think any actor expects to do any of that stuff. Especially the vertical actors. So I was like, "Wow, like people actually came." Like there were like 200 people, 300 people there. I'm pretty sure that was. I mean, I was like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't come prepared at all, to be honest. I threw on a tank top and a leather jacket and some.
That would do it. That was fine.
And pulled up.
No. Yeah. You can say, this is your new character in another vertical coming up.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to pass off my mob technique to them, and they're not getting it. They're not picking it up. They're not picking up what I'm putting down. So I got to try harder. You got to
do it. I mean, I remember my first convention I went to, and I was a guest at the convention, the first one I ever went to. So, I mean, I understand that you really don't know and I did not know what to expect either.
Yeah, no, I would love to go like to a Star Wars convention, though. I'm a big fan of Star Wars.
Oh, you are. Write that down, Liz.
I already have it locked in memory.
Okay, good. Well, we said that before and then we've forgotten, but that's a whole other issue. We say that because do you watch all the Disney Plus stuff comes out for Star Wars, or are you just mainly movie stuff?
Mainly movie stuff. I can't keep up with all the.
Oh, okay, because we do review shows on that stuff when it comes out. So that's what I was asking. We've had people. So you just do the movie stuff. Okay, so that's good to know.
Revenge of the Sith, one of the best movies of all time.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. That's a very good take. I like Rogue One a lot too.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't, but boy, that just got me when I saw that one. So anyway, as we go on our Star Wars tangent, but that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Maureen says Verticon in August next year. Yes.
We'll be there.
That'll be fun. And keep March open, by the way, Luca. Anyway, what do you think? Well, what did you do after you came home after shooting your first vertical, and you had to explain to your parents, your friends, what you just did? How did you explain it to them?
So my friends quite literally did not care. They did not, and not in like the bad way. It was just like they didn't think anything of it. They thought it was just like some small, small budget, like little day player thing. So they didn't really.
So they didn't even. No.
Not really. I mean, guy friends. Like when you're in a group of guys, like I say what I do, and they're like, "Oh, cool!" Like what is it? They'll ask like one question and then move on about their day. But now that I've been doing a lot more and they see that the industry is growing, they're like, whoa, this is actually like a real thing. You know, you don't really believe what your friend or yourself is doing until it's like actually come to fruition and you're living in it.
Well, what did they say when you went to a convention and were a guest?
They were like, holy shit, Luca, like this is serious now. So they understand it. I mean, I love my friends, but in the beginning they were just unenthusiastic towards it. My parents,
they did well, probably because number one, they didn't know what it was.
Exactly.
Nobody did. And nobody did.
My parents, on the contrary, were proud of me. I mean, I love my parents, and my parents love me. Like as long as I'm working hard, you know, following my passion, staying alive, making money, then they're happy. So my mom wanted to know everything about it. She keeps up with every single vertical that I do. She's in my comment section. She's my number one fan. So I just really appreciate her for that, from being here from the beginning. She helped me start my acting career, you know, with my headshots, all of that.
Well, that's great that they support you.
Yeah.
But
what part?
Yeah.
On this.
What part of the convention, your experience, did you like the best? You might have answered it, but in general, just with everything, meeting the fans, finding out what they thought about you, because you kind of said that before, but there was anything else that stuck out in your mind? And now, since you've had a few months to digest what you went through.
Well, besides the fans, because that's the whole reason we were all there, you know, to see everyone. But Luke Charles Stafford had a saxophone performance.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he sat on my lap during it, and that was interesting. That was interesting. I don't know if you guys saw the footage, but he made me part of the gig. I would say presenting was something new, you know. Like, this is another thing too. How I say I love to do theater and musical theater, or I used to. I never got nervous like playing a character. But when I got up there in front of the whole crowd, just presenting an award, I was like, oh my God, I'm shitting bricks right now. So that was like, oddly enough, that was the most exciting part, because I got through it, and I didn't think I would get through it, but I got through it, and I'm willing to do it again. You know, I want to do it again. I want to do it again.
Well, that is good. That is good. You might have other opportunities that you won't even expect. You just never know. You just never know, because as you said, this industry is just kind of exploding right now, which is great. Liz, I'm going to turn it over to you to have some fun.
Okay. Couple questions for you. Where would you like to travel to do a vertical in? Because we are having them all over the world now. So if you had your choice, where would you like to go?
Ooh, my choice. Turkey. I'm going to name a couple here. Everyone's been going to Turkey except for me. I want to go to Turkey. I went there last year with my mom just for leisure. She had a business trip over there in Istanbul, and it was absolutely amazing. Their culture is so beautiful, and just Turkey is beautiful too. I mean, all the history that it has with the Romans and the Ottomans, it's truly a sight to see. New York, I love New York, Marsha. New York is like second to me. I have an aunt over there, and I just love how hectic everything is. I love going outside and seeing new people every day. How you can eat at a new restaurant every single day and never go to the same place twice. Where else? I've been to Canada. Canada was beautiful. Vancouver. I would like to go back to Vancouver. I heard they're shooting in Brazil now. I've never been to South America, so I want to go to South America. I think I would choose Brazil over Turkey just because I haven't been there yet. So somewhere in South America.
Yeah, and speaking of, it's either Brazil or Argentina. I can't remember which one, but they are actually filming full-on soap opera verticals. I mean, multiple, not just multiple episodes, but multiple, storylines that continue for like weeks at a time. would that would that be something you'd ever be interested in doing? Because I know they're trying to implement them here as well. To do a
Absolutely.
long running story. I think that'd be really
Absolutely.
cool.
That would make everything better too, because then you could really delve into the character. Picking it up
Exactly. Yeah.
or reading the script and trying your best to understand where this guy's at. So yes, definitely more time would be nice.
I ran across something that piquing my curiosity. You were in a music video. You have got to tell me how that happened.
Oh, Liz, was it Baloncito Viejo?
Yes, yes.
Yo, yes, that was with Carlos Vives and Camilo. Yeah, I got that through my modeling agency, Front Management. I'm not with them anymore. I'm with Wilhelmina now. But yeah, I booked that, and I remember I went to the fitting, and I was just supposed to play like a side character. It was like a day player sort of thing, and they looked at me and thought I looked evil enough to cast me as the antagonist. So they gave me a promotion right then and there. I got to meet Camilo and Carlos Vives. I don't speak Spanish, but I could kind of understand what they were saying to me. They're basically telling me to kick the ball correctly. That's what they were telling me. So, yeah, I wasn't really starstruck just because I didn't quite grasp the magnitude of the stars that they are.
Yeah, but insane, yeah.
It was definitely fun. It was a fun experience. I met a lot of people on that set that I still talk to this day.
I think that it's so cool, though, that you're starting to get this diverse foundation of things that you can put in your portfolio to, build on as you go. Yeah, because I mean, you're only 21 right now, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you've already done. So
yeah, and back to what you were saying before, like with my commercials that I did when I was younger with Hasbro and Walmart, they were all Spanish. Everyone thought I was Hispanic growing up.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah, and like Spanish commercials, and I kind of got a blast from the past when I got booked in that Camilo music video. So it was cool.
Okay. In speaking, going back to Reese's Enterprise, which I'm jealous of Marcia because she stole my question, but I did have one tag on to that because that you were listed as a producer on it. Would you ever look at in the future maybe doing more behind the scenes work behind the camera? Is that something you'd understand?
I've wanted to dip my toes into producing for quite some time now, but you do need money and you do need experience, a lot of experience and a lot of connections as well. I did have an inquiry with Roberta Sparta. She was a producer that I worked with over 3 times now. She basically gave me the ins and outs of how to produce a vertical. And even though I am attracted to that idea, I think I want to take it further and, produce my own mainstream at some point, a horizontal. I've always been into mob movies. Like that's the reason I got into my love for acting was like watching De Niro and Joe Pesci and all those guys work their magic. And I always thought it was so funny. I would do the accents, I would act like them. I would do it with my friends. We would do little skits in our rooms. We would play like the Godfather theme on the speaker, walk in there with like our little fedoras on, acting like gangsters,
Just hopefully you didn't walk in with a hobby horse and put it in the bed.
Sorry?
Hopefully you didn't walk in with a hobby horse and put it in the bed.
No.
The horse heads on the stick.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Oh, who was who did that again? Or who was
that was the Godfather.
No, but who was the character that had the horse head in his bed?
Oh.
People in the chat room, help us out.
Yeah, my adoptive father would kill me on this.
Whatever.
But yeah, I do have kind of an off question for you. I do kind of like to ask this question for different actors. Have you ever thought of doing any voice animation or possibly things like Japanese anime, like Miyazaki, and then doing it, for the English version?
Absolutely. I don't see why not. Again, I'm very open to all crafts. So yeah, I can do a lot of voices. I don't really have like a reel. I should work on that, but I can do a lot of accents. Can make up some voices. If the opportunity ever arises, I would definitely do it. Yes, but I'm not like yearning for it right now. I'm not looking for voice acting work right now.
Yeah, no, it was just something curious because there has been several actors over the last few years that have surprised me. It's like Christian Bale has, came out and did one, and just different things that, okay, I didn't really expect that to be something that they would necessarily do. So, it was a thing. One of the other things I had to ask you is, what would you tell either yourself as younger or somebody just coming into the acting field? What would be the biggest piece of experience or advice you would give them?
Yeah, nothing gets handed to you, and you're going to face rejection a lot more than you think, like a lot more. And even though you see everyone's wins, just know that is not what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many auditions I've freaking done this year. It has to be close to like 800, 900 now. But definitely stay patient, trust in God. Just do the right thing always, always. Trust your intuition, and know how to handle rejection. Because I feel like in acting, whoever can handle rejection the most is eventually the person that prevails. So, as long as you work on your crafts, work hard, be respectful, and that's it. That's it. That's the biggest thing I would say, is to be able to handle rejection and to not let it get to your head, because it can do a lot to your mental health.
True, exactly. And I'm going to pass it here to Marcia here in a second, but I just kind of wanted to say, in advance, if I don't get a chance to say this later, thank you so much for taking the time to, come on with us and talk. You have been absolutely phenomenal, and I really appreciate it. So, Marcia, I'm going to toss it to you. No problem.
Thank you. To jump back real quick to coming of age, one thing I noticed in one of the scenes, I think it was in Chelsea's bedroom, there was an iMac that was the old style. It was light blue, and they used to make iMacs. And if you go back and watch, I love that style of iMac. They don't do it anymore, but that's the kind of detail that I loved about that movie, that they put in little things that would kind of give that retro feel.
Right.
And the other thing is that I would like to say personally, you as an actor are one of those who you bring the sincerity. We know and we feel that you are there in every scene. And that is important to me as a fan. And I appreciate that so much. I feel that your work. Thank you for that.
You have no idea how much that means to me, because I mean, I really do work hard on my scripts, and try to get the message across, and to hear from you guys that it actually makes a difference and makes an impact. Like, actually, that means the world to me. So,
and so what is coming up next for you that you can tell us about before we close up?
Yeah. So I just finished one called Mrs. CEO, strictly unprofessional. I play an assistant to a rather seductive CEO. And it's spicy, and it's hot, and it's all the good things you want to see. I have another one coming out as well. I don't know the title of it yet. I play an artist. I don't know the established title that they use. They usually do like 5 titles before they tell you. So yeah, I think that will be coming out on Drama Box, but the one I just finished will be coming out on Short Apps sometime in the next 2 months.
Okay. And I will echo Liz and thank you so much for being with us and sharing so much with us today. We really, really had a good time. And I hope you
guys
did
killed it with the questions. Like, talk about stuff that I want to talk about that was super comfortable, super easy, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah. I think Aisha answered the question that we were asking. Liz, do you want to read this for me?
Sure. In the iconic 1972 film The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, There was a notorious scene where Hollywood producer Jack Woltz wakes up with a severed head in his overpriced thoroughbred in his bed. Okay.
These people are
I
on
could
it.
not think of that for the life of me.
Waltz. It was Waltz.
Yeah.
We'll make him an offer you can't refuse.
I refuse.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the way it is. But Luca, thank you so much for coming. I hope you will grace us with your presence again at another time when you've got more things to talk about and you want to go through the craziness of our podcast again. You never know what we'll come up with next.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Like 55 minutes. It was fun.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. And everyone out there, thank you all for coming. It looks like we're probably going to have a bunch of last-minute vertical drama actors on next week. The only one that we have confirmed as of now is Grant Garcia, who will be with us on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. But I'm working with 10 other people right now. So I'm not sure when those other ones are coming, but look at our webpage, look at our YouTube channel. It will be there. So everyone, thank you for coming. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.